Yo, what up? It's Donut, and you are tuning in to all your Illuminati news. We're going to let everybody join the broadcast, and we're going to go over portals. This is a trending topic because some politician brought up portals, so it's going all over the place. But over here, we've been really uncovering the truth about the portals, the symbology of the portals. What is a portal? We got a lot of predictive programming with CERN opening up portals. But before we start, give me a like and let me know that you can hear me. We are streaming on YouTube on the backup channel. Plus, we are streaming on Facebook. And we are also streaming for the first time on Rumble. So let's get ready to rumble. But this thumbnail, you can see Janus, the double-headed god for the doorway, the god of the doorway. This is why we get the word January. And I think that the portals are going to be opened up for January after the winter solstice. Looks like we got perfect audio. What's up, Texas? All right, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'm so happy to be live with all y'all. Much love. Janus is this double-headed god that we see right here in the corner. And it's the god of the doorways, and this is where January comes into play. And I believe we're going through some massive rituals. I was saying, look out for December 8th, because I left 23 days left in the year, I believe. And there's the 23 enigma. Wednesday, the show came out on the 23rd. You'll see the 2-3 pop up in a lot of events. And even the 3-2 is 2-3 backwards. And that goes into some esoteric stuff as well. But December 8th, leaving 23 days left in the year, I was like, yo, something gonna happen on this day. That's the day that Jim Morrison of The Doors is the portal, and he was sacrificed in a bathtub like Aaron Carter. It was a sun ritual. The Doors have a song, Waiting for the Sun. Elvis was known as the Sun King, and he died in the bathroom, in the bathtub ritual. So these rituals take place with artists. December 8th was also the day that John Lennon was assassinated. Dimebag Darrell assassinated. Even Juice WRLD passed away. So we got a lot of these famous artists that pass away on these days. So December 8th, I believe, was the transitional period to this winter solstice, and the winter solstice will be on the 21st. That's why I titled this The Doom Portal, Winter Solstice Rituals. The winter solstice has always been a day for sacrifice and ritual, just like any other equinox solstice. Look at Burning Man. Burning Man, what do? It's a sacrifice of a large man for the summer solstice. That's what it's for. So always look out for these rituals. This goes all the way back to ancient religions and whatnot. But during the winter solstice, this is Stonehenge, where a lot of rituals take place at Stonehenge. But Stonehenge, from an aerial view, looks a lot like a key. The key opens the door to the portal. And we'll see the symbolism pop up a lot. You could also see the symbolism at the Vatican, at an aerial view. You see it in so many places. You also see it in movies, at Disneyland and whatnot. But here's Janus. You can see he has the key in his hand and the two faces. This is kind of weird, but There's usually a rooster. So here's Janus and I'm not even going to say the word, but you can see it. I'll just call it a lock, like the show Loki and Key, Lock and Key. Janus with the key and the rooster right there. Here's Janus for January. This is for Aquarius. We're going into it. You can see the double-headed god with the key. This is all about doorways and portals. You even see janitors, right? Janus. This is where the word janitor comes from. And what is a janitor known for? Having all the keys to the different rooms that we go into. I mean, it gets deep, the symbology, looking into it. So here's Janus, the god of new beginnings, gates, transition, time duality, and doorways, the doors. Double-headed god, Janus, as we're going into January. And the temple of Janus, the doors were called the gates of Janus, and they were closed in times of peace and open in times of war. And we're in a ton of war right now, just all year long. We were all, let's all come together, be peaceful, because we're all locked down together. But then right after that, no, let's go straight to war on 222 for Pluto's return. One of my videos made it on the AJ show, which is bigger than CNN. And they were kind of like, oh, yeah, this is really good, but they're going into astrology. That's all hocus pocus stuff. But like, no, the astrology plays a big part in it. Astrology, numerology, symbology, all the ologies, theology, it all gets into it. We got over 500 people here watching, so make sure you hit that like button. We are going over the portals above Washington. They're calling it demonic portals. Well, that's all hocus pocus probably. There is orbs and whatnot, but we're actually going into what's actually going on. This is ancient. This has been going on for a while, and it's something I've been obsessing about for over a couple weeks now, looking at the key symbolism. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Plus, the best way to support us, if you want to keep this content going, we got the links down below for the Patreon, which gives you exclusive content. But let's get back into it. So here's the gates. They closed during war. This goes back to ancient Samaria. You can see the double-headed faces of the gods right here. So, I mean, this goes even more ancient than Roman times. And this is connected to the Star of Ishtar as well. The Bethlehem star is wearing Christmas, and on top of the Christmas tree, you see that 8-pointed star. Super duper ancient. Here's the Shamash tablet, the sun god tablet, or the tablet of Shamash. And you can see that 8-pointed star right here, which was the gateway. This is where the gods could travel through this portal, this gateway. So this is how far it goes back. It goes back hecka far. And it gets pretty confusing because it's the Star of Ishtar, but it's also not. So it's connected with Venus and Polaris. But right here, you can also see the Star of Ishtar, the moon and the sun, which is a different symbol. So it kind of gets complicated. But this is the gateway portal, which is connected to Polaris so far in my research. Yes, somebody wrote 88 Lionsgate portal. And that is when Donald Trump got in trouble at his Mar-a-Lago. And shout out to Tommy Truthful and the One-on-One podcast. Just finished up a podcast with them where we went even deeper into this portal symbolism. So we can see we're going into January, this double-headed god, but this goes all the way back to ancient Samaria and these portals and these gateways that are shown in the Economist magazine. The beginning of 2022, 222, had the portal, the Polaris portal right here. So it's something I've been looking into all year, uncovering what is this, and it leads back to the North Pole where Santa Claus is in the four corners. As see, the red is the four. This goes into Hyperborea, which will show you the symbology. But here is CERN. CERN also has the 8-pointed star of Polaris, and they're the ones opening up the portals, just like in the show Stranger Things. And this goes into the four corners. It's all connected. It's pretty weird. And what it seems like to me, my hypothesis is, yes, they're opening up portals and it's connected to the four corners, which there's 12 of them all throughout the world. But the symbols point to it, and it's pointing to the gateway. And I'm looking out for the gateway, the Golden Gate Bridge. That's very heavy on my hypothesis right now, because the 49ers, I know nothing about football at all. But in the beginning of the year, I'm like, look out for the 49ers, because the 49, 7 times 7, if we're in a Jubilee, it would be the 50th year after the 49. And everything's pointing to this. Travis Scott incident, Satanic Temple in San Francisco, in Ripple in San Francisco. Everything's pointing to a floodgate, or a bridge collapse. And that doesn't mean that the bridge, I think, will actually collapse. But think about cryptocurrency. You got bridge currencies like Ripple that's located over there by the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. That bridge currency collapse. So there's something interesting there. And I mean, we're just putting the dots together. But this video, we're going over the portals. How's everybody doing? You can hear me loud and clear. Let's go to some of y'all comments, and then we get back into the portals. Hello, Massachusetts. Shout out to Massachusetts. Half my family is from Massachusetts. And I mean, I can't believe how much symbolism of the Commonwealth. You had the Commonwealth Games go back to Massachusetts. It's pretty wild. Hello, Colorado. Colorado too. Tons of symbolism there. So much symbols in America. It's wild. All day, every day. All day, every day. Yeah, I'm glad everybody is up on here right now. We are streaming late. Hello, Holland, Kentucky. Before it was Polaris, it was Draco. Hello, Australia. All right, so this is going to get wild, everybody. So buckle your seatbelts. Oh, Ohio, Chicago, Australia, Louisiana, Singapore. Shout out to Singapore. Beautiful, beautiful over in Singapore. I've been there. Tucson, Illinois, Columbia. Shout out to Columbia. Indiana, Tucson. Montreal. Okay. Atlanta, ATL. So CERN be opening up the portals, and we all seen Stranger Things, the Hollywood cinemagicians telling us the truth of what's going on and getting us ready for it. Here's janitor. A janitor has the keys, and it comes from Janus, Janua, Latin door, the doorway, the doorkeeper, the doorman, and they got the keys. Keys open doors. Then you got the show Lock and Key, or Lock and Key, which is all about portals as well. They got the black door. The door is the portal that they go through, the Stargate. This is super ancient. Oh, wow. They call it an Omega door. It is the Omega logo. And I didn't know they called it the Omega door. But yes, that is the Omega logo. You can see it on your dollar bill. The last event that will take place in the ritual will be the Omega event. So remember that for later slides in this presentation, the Omega event. As today is December 14th, this is when that movie, I Am Legend, came out on December 14th. And also, today's the day that they started distributing medicine. So, the I Am Legend movie is about the medicine causing people to turn into zombies. And it's based off of a movie and a book called The Omega Man. It's all very, very connected. So you can see right here, the key symbolism is connected to CERN, Polaris, and gateways and portals. Here's the Masonic compass with Polaris at the top. Here's the show Stargate right here. Here's the Stargate, the portal. And you got the two circles because that's how CERN is set up, with the two circles. 2001 Space Odyssey, you see that key. It's a tower with Polaris at the top. And I got this from Tommy Truthful's site, so shout out to him. Here you can see the Vatican key with Polaris, the 8-pointed star, and the sun cross in the middle, which is for the four corners. And right in the middle of the four corners is the volcano. The volcano is the tower that we see right here in Lord of the Rings, the volcano. This goes into Polaris, and it also goes into some sexual symbology as well, as the pyramid is. A lot of the symbols go back to sex. It's wild. But here you can see here the key at the Vatican with the sun cross and the phallic right there next to the Christmas tree, and the tree symbols all throughout history. The tree was the phallic. This is what I'm looking at, this 8 points right here. That's that gateway. You see it here at Disneyland. Shout out to the One-on-One podcast. You can see that 8 Polaris right here, and the key, and the sun cross in the tower. Disney Castle is the tower. Here's Hyperborea, the old map of the North Pole. You got the 4 corners, which goes into the sun cross. In the middle is the volcano. The middle is the volcano. Here's Star Wars. You got Polaris right back here, and the 8 different points right here for the 8 points of the star. Pretty wild. Pretty wild, because even Venus is connected to this, which is known as Lucifer. And Venus, every 8 years, makes a pentagram in the sky. So it's kind of confusing for me, because Venus, Ishtar, and Polaris, they all have the same sort of symbolism. So it's kind of confusing for me. But we're still going to keep diving down the rabbit hole, as the rabbit hole is the portal going down the rabbit hole. Here's 2001 Space Odyssey, them going into the portal. You see the Polaris star, the 8-pointed star, and this is in all of Stanley Kubrick's films. All of his films have Polaris. If you watch Eyes Wide Shut, you see the Polaris star all over that movie. The keys of heaven, right? The key symbolism. Here's Edward Scissorhand. You got that key in there. And Edward Scissorhand, the community down below was just a bunch of clones. And at the top was the tower, like the Disney tower. Going back to all this symbolism we showed in the beginning. So Wednesday is trending right now. I really enjoyed it. I watched it, made a movie about it, ton of occult symbolism in it. The umbrella right here has 7 points because there's a secret society with 7 members in it. Just like the Freemasonic compass has the G, which is the 7th letter. And it was released on the 23rd, the 23 Enigma. And in the show, which was made by Tim Burton, who did Edward Scissorhand, who showed that key symbolism, Wednesday, which is named after Odin, which is Santa Claus, Wednesday was the key in the show. She was the key for the ritual to take place. So this key symbolism goes deep. And here's Las Vegas. We all remember that terrible event that happened in Las Vegas. Nobody has shown this. I believe this is the first channel to uncover symbols that are so deep in this. The 23 Enigma. There was a movie. Jim Carrey, Hollywood stars, made a movie about the number 23, right? Well, Las Vegas took place on the 32nd floor, which is 23 backwards. And I was looking at the hotel on the 32nd floor. There's 32nd pathways in mysticism, in the Kabbalah. There's 32 spikes in the Jesuit logo. And on the 32nd floor, there's that key, that Polaris key symbolism right here. And am I stretching? I don't know. But look at the floor right here. It's the 8-pointed star right there, Polaris, right there on the floor with this Polaris key symbolism. Maybe it's a stretch. The 32, the brother, some house was at 320. And then I was looking at more pictures of this hotel because it took place in front of a pyramid, in front of the Luxor. And in the hotel, they show you the pillow. Well, even the pillow is the 8-pointed star of Ishtar right there in the hotel room. So I'm the first channel. You tuning into Donut. You tuning into the Donut Factory. It is late at night. So thank you so much for tuning in. We got a lot more to cover. We're halfway through the presentation though. At least halfway through. We got 700 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button while I catch my breath. Because I'm in an apartment, so I heard the neighbors downstairs like banging, like because I'm probably being too loud. It's only 10 p.m. here, so I'm trying to keep my voice down. But make sure y'all go support us through the Patreon. If you don't want to do that, support us with a like and a share. We're going over the portal symbolism. We're diving deep tonight into the portals. It's 5 a.m. in the UK. Shout out to the UK. All right, let's get back into it. So, in the Addams Family Wednesday show, Wednesday's the key. And the key is connected to this whole Polaris portal. The top of the school has the Polaris right there. This is the top of the school. This be popping up everywhere. But Wednesday is Odin for Woden's Day, which is connected to Christmas and Yule. Santa is Odin. So it's a perfect time to release this show for Saturnalia. Here's Odin right here, the one-eyed god. This is Wednesday. This is what Wednesday's named after. And you can see that same 8-pointed star right next to him there as well. I mean, the symbolism is everywhere. And going back to the 23, W is the 23rd letter. You got 3 pokes at the top and 2 at the bottom. 23, the W. That's SpongeBob. And secret societies like Scroll and Key at Yale University. Here's Janus in Eyes Wide Shut, the Stanley Kubrick film. Here's the Anunnaki. Anu was resembled as this 8-pointed star. Going back to the Anunnaki, the sky god, the first sky god that we know about. And the 8-pointed star is also in the marijuana leaf, believe it or not. I mean, I'm seeing this everywhere. The marijuana leaf's got 8 stems. If you count this one down here, just like the Anu, Ishtar. I was drinking out of my water bottle at Sprouts. Bam, Ishtar at the bottom. I mean, my RAS in my brain, my reticular activation system in my brain, be finding this everywhere. So here's the Nightshade Society in the Addams family. And you can see the 7 different moons because there's 7 different people in this secret society. Just like the G or the G7, the G's the 7th letter in Freemasonry. And also there's other secret societies like the Society of Dilettante. There's a lot of secret societies. So we talk about the societies that we know about, but think about all the other societies that we don't know about that are actually secret societies because they out there. And here's one, the Society of Dilettante, and they got 7 people in this picture, 7 members. And this dude's throwing up the OK symbol that we see Macaulay Culkin throw up as well, Home Alone. Home Alone be Illuminati. You filthy animals. Alice in Wonderland got that key symbolism. But I'm looking out for a bridge collapse. Here's Tupac performing, and he's in front of a bridge, it looks like. San Francisco, any kind of gateway as we're coming up into the year of the rabbit, 2023. Elon tweeting about follow the rabbit. Bugs Bunny was the first person abducted by an alien. We've covered this. But he is in the portal, the bunny in the portal. Here's CERN, bunny in the portal, all about time. They use the symbolism a lot. Even Donnie Darko's about a bunny that travels through a portal. Elon follow the bunny as we're going into the rabbit year, and he's selling the burnt hair. Well, this also looks like that key a little bit. Like a bowling pin also looks like a key. The Super Bowl, which will take place 322 days left in the year. Right here, this also looks like the key, the trophy. And the Wikipedia page. Wikipedia, you see that Omega logo as the key is the Omega logo as well. The Omega event. That's the next on the puzzle piece on Wikipedia. Just like I Am Legend. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on. The Keystone Pipeline leaked on December 8th. Yes, somebody said St. Louis Gateway Arch as well. These are gateways. The door is a gateway. That's why it's designed like a gateway, the Royal Ark. And what I've been looking at is the Keystone Pipeline happened on December 8th We talked about that earlier, how that's a big ritual day. And this is when it started leaking in the middle of the country. I believe they do stuff in threes, right? There was like power outages over here or over here. I don't remember, but I think they do things in three rituals, like a boom, boom, boom. But think about the keystone, the key, right? Here's Polaris in the four corners for Polaris. Here's the royal arch, the keystone at the top of the arch. Right down here, Polaris, the 8-pointed star. Here's Eminem. But this four-corner symbolism is connected to rituals. The day that music died, this was the poster they released before Buddy Holly died in the plane crash. And that's the day that music died. Just like Stranger Things, they got the four corners with the volcano in the middle. It's all the same symbolism. So I'm looking out for the four corners. Here's Public Enemy, what you're going to do when the grid goes down. Their logo, Public Enemy, is the four corners. And this image is at the four corners, the Navajo Nation, when the grid goes down. Not only is Public Enemy showing this symbolism, but also the Rothschild's Economist magazine shows the crypto downfall and all these asteroids landing in the four corners, the Navajo Nation right here. And the four corners is where the veil is thinner. You got Skinwalker Ranch there. And it's these four different corners. But this is all over the world. It's not just here in America. There is 12 devil triangles all throughout the world where the veil is thinner. One is near Florida. So there's 12 of them all throughout the world, which could go into some Archon, Anunnaki type stuff that's way deep. But this symbol is also the sun cross or Hyperborea. It's pretty nuts. And here's the Hopi Nation as well, has that same four corners. So that's what I'm looking out for. I'm just going over some symbolism of the gateways and how old and ancient the symbology is. We got 800 people up in here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Somebody says the four corners are the four horsemen. Yes, think about that as well. That whole four be popping up all over. We grab all the four corners. Bruh, the White House sits on a pentagram. Yes. Yo, you tuning into, Illuminati News. Make sure you hit that like button. Oh, look, someone says Odin's cross is the four corners also. That's interesting. I'll look that up and add that into the research. But yeah, we are live. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you support us on the Patreon. It's cheaper than a bag of Skittles. Much love, everybody, and God bless you.